Good afternoon, my Section 8 TikTokers. It's your friendly Section 8 director coming to you today to talk all things Section 8. Before I get started, please like and share this video so I can bring you more informative video as well as some story times. So today I'm going to give you a quick story time about a time when a young man came in to report his baby mama frauding. So he came into the lobby, and he indicated that, you know, he had been living with this young lady and that she failed to report that he was living with her, and that he was working, and she didn't report to us that he was working. And so, you know, she was frauding the system. And now keep in mind, he is the father to her children. So he's coming in, he's running it down about everything that went on with them. And so, you know, I politely invited him into my office, and I allowed him to continue on, you know, telling me what was going on between he and the young lady. And so, you know, after he finished, you know, I said to him, I said, well, we're going to call him Mr. Snitch. I said, well, Mr. Snitch, I said, I'm going to step outside of my director's position. I said, and I'm going to talk to you, you know, woman to man. I said, if I terminate her from the program, I said, do you have somewhere for her and your children to reside once she loses her Section 8? I said, are you going to provide her assistance, rental assistance, because she won't be receiving any more rental assistance from the Section 8 program? I said, are you concerned that she may be homeless because she will lose her Section 8? And he just sat there, you know, he answered no, you know, to the questions. He didn't have a unit or a house he could provide for her and his children. And that, you know, he'll try to assist her in paying the rent, that we, Section 8, was affording her on a monthly basis. I said, so you might want to, think twice before you come down to snitch on your girlfriend. I said, because not only will it be detrimental to her, I said, but it's detrimental to your children as well. So people, just be careful when you're out there, you know, report the income. We don't mind that, you know, you have your baby, you know, your child's father, your children's father living in a household. We don't mind that at all. We just want you to let us know so that we can include the income in the household. Please don't get caught frauding the system, because again, like I indicated in my last video, it will be somebody who you know who will tell on you and cause you to lose your Section 8 voucher. Now you know.
So
Trump is trying to take my food stamps. He is trying to take food stamps for my 6 children. He is trying to take the food from my children's bellies. Why, must you ask? Why would Donald Trump want to take food stamps from you, Courtney? Well, because I drive a 2024 G-Wagon. That's why. And when you were on food stamps, or if you were on any type of welfare, you can't have nice things. Did you not read that in the small print? Yeah. When you're on food stamps, you can't drive any vehicle newer than 2000. 99 or older. 2000 and higher, nope, you gotta sell it because that's considered an asset. That's literally what I'm being told. That I have to sell my 2024 G-Wagon because it is considered an asset and I won't be eligible for food stamps. Fuck you, not getting it.
Now that the one big beautiful bill, that name is crazy, have been approved, which cuts Medicare, Medicaid, SNAP, and some other benefits, what exactly does that mean for you? That means that elders that used to be able to qualify for SNAP and these benefits after the age of 54 now would not qualify for it until they're 65. Also, parents who were able to not work and receive these benefits up until the child is 17 now have to go to work. You no longer qualify if you don't work. To qualify for these benefits, so they're not getting rid of them. To qualify for these benefits, you have to work at least 80 hours a month up to the age of 65. Of course, if you work, then your benefit amount will go down because that is how SNAP works, is based on your income. However, it doesn't have to be paid work. You either have to have a job that pays money, volunteer, or be in some kind of class that will give you some kind of trade. I'm telling you this because I don't want people to freak out. No, these circumstances are not good. Maybe you don't have anyone to watch your children. Maybe you don't trust anybody watching your children because of traumatic experiences you've had as a child. However, what you should not do is give out any energy of fear and panic, because that's really what they're banking on, allegedly. I've told you before that the highest currency is energy. Negative energy is very, very powerful and very, very delicious to some. Be careful who you feed. Keep in mind that there was a time that none of these benefits even existed, and yet humanity survived. So, this is a perfect time to start praying, meditating, looking inward, connecting with nature, grounding, doing things, find your creative outlet. Keep in mind, throughout anything, you are the creator of your reality. So knowing what you know, what do you plan on creating from here on out?
So Trump and his administration has passed a bill to where junk food can't be bought with EBT. And hey, don't get me wrong. I understand a lot of people do abuse it. That's understandable. Here is the thing. To eat healthy and organic is very expensive. So if you got a family that only get $500 and you want them to eat organic and healthy, they're not going to get a lot of food that lasts them throughout the month because the prices are so expensive. So if they're going to do that, I think they need to go after these companies that are charging an arm and a leg for organic or healthy food. Like, that's crazy. To be healthy, it costs so much. Even when we go to the store, a bottle of water, $4, $5 for a bottle of water. Water should be a bottle of water, like single bottle of water, should be like 50 cents because it's healthy. But then you can go outside of Walmart and get a can of soda for 50 cents. And then they wonder why Americans are big and Americans are unhealthy. And America's like, it's a lot of fat people over here compared to other countries, because other countries, food and produce are like damn near organic. It's like, you know what I'm saying, way fresher and healthier than our food. But I'm going to mind my business on that.
Here's my aggravation with food stamps and government assistance. When I was an E1, E2 in the military, got a brand new baby and a brand new wife, I did not qualify for anything but like WIC. We could get some formula for the baby and we could get like some juicy juice and some cheese, but we couldn't get like no actual food stamps, like nothing else. We didn't qualify for it. My little measly ass poor decision to paycheck was not enough for us, but we couldn't get anything. But then I see whole ass adults that have literally lived off of food stamps, and they're upset because they have to actually work or show some type of qualification now. And I don't understand it.
I'm only gonna speak on this because I'm a mom who receives food stamps. But it's so sad that y'all want to see people without so fucking bad. They doing that little cut to the food stamps and the Medicaid where it hasn't passed the Senate yet, but we know the whole Senate is Republican, so we already know. Let's just hope and pray that somebody in their right mind come to their fucking senses. You feel me? But it's the fact that y'all happy about this shit. Oh, now y'all can get y'all lazy asses up and stop living off our money for free. Da da da. Y'all think people who receive government assistance don't work? Y'all think we don't work? Baby, housing done went up. The cost of living done went up. The food cost done went up. Daycare done went up. We out here fucking damn near about to lose our fucking lives trying to hustle and get money to goddamn pay the bills. That's why we need the government assistance. The fuck? Car payments done went up. Car insurance done went up. And it's gonna go up some more because tariffs. So, what do y'all get? Oh, people who own government assistance are poor, they're lazy, or they don't work. Where did y'all get that from? I think that's a stereotype y'all started because people in the hood or the projects or the trailer parks, yeah, y'all put that on everybody. No, bitch. That ain't how that work. Because I'm at work. I'm in school. I'm doing the best I can. I need my food stamps. But if they take it away, I'm going to do what I got to do to make ends meet. It ain't going to stop nothing.
Okay, like I said, y'all just mad. Y'all mad because y'all not on EBT. Y'all just mad because so what? So what? We over here, man. I got my son over here in the cut. He got his snacks too, right over there. Say hey. Yeah.
We on the food stamps. Hey, stop playing with us. 3,000, 3K food stamps. Stop playing with us in the comments.
Yeah, we got them stamps. Yeah. Y'all like stamps? Come get them. You like stamps? If you want food stamps, come holler at me. Come on, holler at me. Yeah, we ain't good over here. Y'all just mad. Y'all mad. Y'all big mad. And we're happy over here. And we're just eating on our snacks. And we got plenty of meat in the freezer. Y'all just some haters. If y'all want stamps, and stop being on that high class horse, come get these EBT stamps. Come on. Ain't nothing wrong with food stamps. Y'all act like something wrong with food stamps, baby. Come on, get them food stamps. Period.
Well, I had to evict somebody from Section 8 housing this week. We had this elderly lady who is blind sign a lease with the help of her daughter to occupy this property. This property had been completely redone. Well, the reason I had to evict this lady is she never moved in. Instead, her son-in-law moved in. He was running a business out of this house. The reason this is so upsetting is that this gentleman that took possession of this property took away affordable housing for people that really need it. And he did not qualify for Section 8 because he made too much money, as did his wife. Needless to say, we had to go to court. I evicted them. And my wife was with me because she was the representative of the company. And there is a massive investigation underway because we reported it to Section 8. They ended up doing a welfare check on the lady who was supposed to be living there. She wasn't living there. In fact, she had never moved out of her prior residence. Well, Section 8 informs the district attorney's office, who then informs the ATF because it's federal in nature. And now there's a federal investigation as well as a state investigation. But eventually we got them out. We got the locks changed that day. We emptied the house that day and we came back and I went to work. But that's wild. Please, affordable housing is a need in this country. When people run scams like this, you're only hurting the people that need it the most.
Okay, so had an issue over the weekend and kind of got some more information about it. So, okay, we had some tenants, and this has been a reoccurring problem. I want to know if anybody else has noticed this. I mean, it's getting more and more common. Okay, so I'm noticing that there's more and more Section 8 tenants that are trying to open an illegal, like, child care center in a Section 8 house or apartment. Okay, it's super illegal. It violates all Section 8 rules. You're not allowed to do that. But people keep trying it. Like, just in the last year, I think I've had to evict like 6 people or 6 families, however you want to say it, like 6 households, okay, that were trying to run this illegal child care center out of their house. Okay, like they didn't have a business license, they didn't have anything. They just put a sign out, started advertising, and I don't know, like, is this only happening in Tulsa? Is anybody else seeing this go on anywhere else in the country? That's not the only Section 8 scam that we've been seeing a lot recently. So what we'll see is the tenant will have a Section 8 voucher and they'll rent the house, but then they'll never actually move into the house. So instead what they'll do is they'll sublease it out to someone that is like a cash tenant, right? So they're, number one, not paying any rent because Section 8 is paying it, and then they're collecting $1,000 a month as in pretending to be a landlord, right? So I'm just wondering if anyone else has seen this, anyone else has heard about this. Why is the news not talking about this, right? Like, I've tried to make news stations aware of it. Nobody seems to care. And I mean, it's not like this is a 1 or 2 time thing. Like, I mean, this keeps happening. Like, every month I'm having to evict someone that violated these policies, right? And, you know, it's not us necessarily evicting. It's the city telling us, like, hey, these people got to go because they violated lease. So, I don't know. What have you guys seen? Is it just me? Is it just Oklahoma? What's going on here?
You literally could go get a job and actually afford unsubsidized rent, not being subsidized by the taxpayer. You could go do that. You are literally choosing not to because you want to build your business. Why the are you allowed to leech off the taxpayer?
I'm not leeching off of anybody.
Yes,
and
you
I
are.
have tried.
Tried what?
My last job, I had a really bad situation.
Tell.
Where I was interviewing men in particular, and every time I got on the screen with them, they got their little willies out and started whacking him.
I'm not gonna have you translate that one. Every what's our plan? Putting 30 hours a week into education that we can't define or explain?
There is a plan.
Okay. Now it sounds like a presidential debate.
I'm trying.
What's your try?
I have plans on finding a job.
Follow financial clips for more.
This mother-daughter duo accused of carrying out the largest case of housing fraud in Orange County history. Erica Mickens and her daughter, Brittany Mickens, are facing felony charges, accused of scamming the county's Section 8 housing and its in-home supportive services program.
These two individuals are accused of stealing upwards of $190,000 from the housing authority and from in-home support services.
People in this Westminster neighborhood say officers spent the day at the family's home Thursday, making the arrests and collecting evidence. This afternoon, an investigator went door to door, interviewing neighbors.
Concealing their identity, using multiple birth certificates, identification cards to defraud taxpayers.
Investigators say Erica received the maximum benefit reserved for the most severely disabled clients, though they say surveillance showed her doing work around her home without issue. The DA also says the pair took lavish international trips and posted photos to Facebook, seen here touring Rome and here at Disneyland Paris. Neighbors said they often saw luxury cars at the home.
She had a Porsche, and now she has a Range Rover in the garage, and that's a new car. So I thought, well, fine.
If convicted, they each face a maximum of 8 years in state prison. Neighbors say they can't believe someone would take from those who actually need the aid.
All that money. It's I just don't understand.
Hey guys, yes, it's true that the White House is proposing to eliminate the Section 8 voucher program. And what they want to do is basically put a time limit, which is a 2-year time limit on all able-bodied citizens. So if you're able-bodied, meaning that you're not a veteran, you're not disabled, you're not elderly. If you're able-bodied and can work, and you're going to have a 2-year time. That's what they're proposing, a 2-year time limit, and there's no more Section 8. So with that being said, you're probably saying, okay, Alicia, what am I going to do? I'm going to tell you what I've been stating for the last few months. You go back and look at some of my videos. I've been talking about the Family Self-Sufficiency Program. If you do not have a job, if you do not have a trade, if you do not have anything, sign up for that program. Call your Social Section 8 office and talk to your Family Self-Sufficiency. Get in that program. Get you some kind of certificate, whatever you like to do, whatever your passion is, turn your passion into your purpose, come up with some funds, because eventually if they do eliminate the Section 8 program or they give you a 2-year, you need to have a plan. You need to, if you don't have an education, that's why the Family Self-Sufficient will pay for you. If you don't have a job, but you say, Alicia, I already have, I'm a phlebotomist. I just can't find a job. The Family Self-Sufficiency will help you look for a job. And also they help you with the home ownership. The ultimate goal is home ownership. So with that being said, they are cutting these programs. These are the proposed. What they're going to do, they're proposing to cut the Section 8 voucher program and give block grants to the state. And the state's going to get less money. So whatever they do with the money as far as in with housing, but they're trying to eliminate the Section 8 program and give a time limit. I knew there was going to be a time limit, but 2 years? No, I'm thinking 5 years. But no, they want to do 2 years. And they're giving time limits. I don't know if you all know yet. They're giving time limits on SNAP benefits. They already started here in Texas. If you're working or not working after a certain amount of time, you cannot get SNAP benefits anymore. So with that being said, there's a lot of cuts and a lot of elimination. Warning come before destruction. I've been saying it for months. That's why I'm stating, please get in these programs, get the education, come up with a plan B. Faith without works is dead. So you need to start working on your plan B, start working on your education, whatever, because if you ever in a situation, you want to be able to provide for you and your children. So with that being said, contact your local worker, your Section 8 worker, for the family self-sufficiency program so that you can, get enrolled in it. If you're in Houston, the classes are every other Wednesday. The orientation, give me a call. A call or inbox or whatever, email me so that I can hurry up and get you, give you the information so you can get signed up. So with that being said, y'all guys, be blessed, but be prepared and be ready. It's a lot going on right now in this economy. Everything's a lot going on. So just be prepared.
I'm fucking pissed the fuck off. They cut my motherfucking food stamps to $85 from $738. How the fuck? That's supposed to support a household of 3 for a job that barely even support my basic needs now. Like, inflation is high and the bitch groceries is high as shit. Oh, I'm pissed the fuck off. Like, I'm mad as shit because how the fuck am I supposed to survive off that shit? So when y'all see me in the motherfucking store stealing stuff and that shit in my motherfucking bed, nicely act like you don't see shit and mind your motherfucking business, because this shit is going in my motherfucking bag and I'm walking out this motherfucking store with my motherfucking chest up and my head held high, and I dare you to try to tell me, hey ma'am, excuse me, because I'm gonna look at you like you fucking retarded and say go talk to Trump about that shit.
So I've always been proud to be an American, but I am very proud to be an American today now that I know that Trump is cutting off Section 8 and giving it to the people who rightly deserve it, like our veterans, and the people who are disabled who actually cannot go to work. Because y'all treat, some of you guys who have been on Section 8 for 30 plus years, treat Section 8 like it's an heirloom. Y'all never let it go, and this is what you guys are passing down to your children. That's all you guys have to pass down to your children. You have nothing else to pass down. You're not passing down any wealth, knowledge, just your Section 8. So I'm glad and I'm happy to be an American today.
So there's a lot of drama going on about EBT reductions. A lot of people are making videos that they're losing this much money, that much money, whatever. About a decade ago, I was a manager at Walmart, and a big chunk of Walmart's business is the grocery side, and a big chunk of that is EBT. And I will tell you, there is nobody on EBT that is starving. The people with the biggest baskets of whatever junk, it was always EBT. It was the people in spandex and slippers and pajamas and whatever. People, they look like don't even work. They just rolled out of bed 10 minutes ago before they got to the store. And they got the biggest baskets, and it's just full of Cheez-Its and Doritos and ice cream and all kinds of garbage. It ain't food from the produce section. It ain't fruits and vegetables. And the regular people that are having to buy food, they got a hand basket, or their basket is like 1 layer high. It's not 10 layers deep all the way to the top. So you can tell who's buying food, and you can tell who's working to pay for food. And the people out there that are working are actually struggling really bad in this country right now. There's an immense amount of people that can barely buy food at all, that have nothing to eat, and they work 40 hours a week. Maybe they're working 45, 50 hours a week, and they're doing side gigs like DoorDash and things like that, and they still can't eat anywhere near as good as the people on EBT. EBT is the most wasteful thing. I remember, it was somewhere around 2008, when I was at Walmart, and I remember the food stamp allotments just increased massively. So it's not that you got food stamps, you were getting EBT, and, somebody that was getting $200 a month all of a sudden was getting way more than that. Everybody's benefits just increased like a crazy amount. And that's when, after that, you just started seeing big baskets of food everywhere. And there was no limits on it. 12 packs of soda in there. Didn't matter what it was. There was just nothing but garbage food. These are all empty calories and blah, blah, blah. And it's really bad for you. You know what people say? I'm seeing a lot of comments where they say, oh, it's not your business what we get. Well, it kind of is, because the money you're using isn't your money. And unfortunately, what you're eating is going to cause a massive amount of medical problems, which is then going to be eaten up on Medicaid. because a lot of the people that are on EBT are also on Medicaid. And guess what happens when you have hypertension, high blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease, and all this garbage because you eat nothing but garbage. If you give somebody, so that's the other backside of it, is that you have an immensely unhealthy population of people that are also tying up the entire medical system and just eating up Medicaid dollars. So it's not just EBT. Medicaid's also suffering on the backside of it because people are so unhealthy. Just the people that are on the highest amounts of EBT are absolutely unhealthy. I witnessed it. I saw this stuff day in and day out. And the thinnest people you'd see in the Walmart were always people that had to pay for their own food because they don't get much. They're eating like pasta or some ramen. They don't have that much money. So it's just very unfair that you see people are either getting a ton of free stuff or people are halfway starving. And the narrative that the media wants you to believe is that the people that are starving are the people on EBT. That's a lie. That is 100% lie. I'm going to tell you right now, been there, done that. I think it's great that they're cutting EBT. It needs to happen just from a health standpoint. There is no reason. If I give you $100 a month for food, you're going to eat a certain amount. If I give you $300 a month, you're going to eat $300. You're going to eat triple the food now. Cause that's just how that's how people are. They're going to now buy more. If I give you $500 a month, you're going to buy $500 of food every month. You're going to eat more. I give you $1,000 a month. You're going to eat $1,000 a month. See, that's where you get all this, where people are clinically obese, all kinds of health problems, because people are just eating. You will see people in Walmart with 2 baskets loaded. That person is not paying for that. That's free. That is free. And it makes you sick. It makes you sick to see the abuse like that. It's not fair that the people working are eating almost nothing or eating the very minimum, and if they do eat meat, they're getting like, the 70-30 hamburger meat, because that's the cheapest they can find that they can afford. While the people on food stamps are over there getting literally porterhouses and, ribeyes. It doesn't matter. They don't even care. Let me tell you something. When you, like I said, I was a manager there for probably about 8 years, and you will never really see anybody that's on EBT even look at prices. They will just take anything off the shelf. It's always name brand. They don't care. They literally just throw it in. They have so much on these cards. They don't care. Everybody with a job is looking at prices. They're trying to see if I buy the small box or the big box, where's the better value? And they're trying to do the math in their head as they shop, but not people on EBT. They just boom, throw it in the basket. They do not care. Just get it. It doesn't matter. They couldn't tell you at the register the price of anything in that basket because they don't look. I watch people shop. I watched it for years. So, I'm not going to be crying about EBT and nobody out there, no reasonable person should be crying about it either. Let it get reduced. It should be.